Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a hypothetical scenario in which what if Elon Musk had helped and donated tons of money to Kamala Harris instead of Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election. And we're going to take a look back because Elon Musk has claimed that if it wasn't for him, Donald Trump would have lost the election to Harris. And not only that, he also claims Democrats would have taken control of the House, as well as Republicans only having 51 seats in the Senate to the Democrats' 49 instead of the 53 seats they currently have. So that's a lot of claims Elon Musk has stated. And I do understand that he had admitted that his tweets went too far in a post on X or Twitter, obviously, but he said a lot of baggage to Donald Trump. He had a lot of beef with him, so he can't take back what he said on those. Big problem with Donald Trump over the past a week or so. But we're going to be taking a look at his claim on if he had helped, if he decided to help Harris instead of Trump, how that would have changed the election. You know, would it shape it up to look differently? We're going to be figuring out that in this video. But before we get started with the map and his claim, make sure you guys are subscribed, click the bell so you don't miss on my content, press the like button, share this video. Don't forget we have memberships. If you're interested, you can find a link to that in the description section. So is Elon Musk right? If he had helped Harris instead of Trump, which he said maybe he might help Democrats in the future, which Trump said if he does that, then he will pay the price or something along those lines. You get the idea. What if Harris won the election if she would be backed by Elon Musk? In my opinion, no, she would not have won. I don't think Elon Musk is the reason why Trump won the election. What I think is why Trump won the election was the failed assassination attempt that happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. I think that's the day that sealed the deal for Donald Trump. That's the day that locked it down for him to officially win the election. I don't think it's Elon Musk, so I think he's incorrect about that. But let's see, would it be closer? I think it would be closer, actually. So this is the 2024 map, 312 to 226. If Elon Musk donated tons of money to the Harris campaign, similar to what he did with Trump, but the exact opposite, I think it would have been much closer, but she still would not have won because I think the failed assassination attempt was just too much, and that's why Trump won Pennsylvania by close to 2 percentage points. It wasn't a tilt margin, it was a lean one. So I think a few changes would have happened to this map if Musk helped Harris. Let's begin. So I think Minnesota obviously went to Harris by 4 percentage points with the help of Tim Walz, who's the governor of the state. The fact that Harris had Tim Walz as the VP and she still only won Minnesota by 4 points goes to show you that if she had not picked Walz as the VP, that state could have been much closer. I'm not saying he had an impact to help her, but I think it would have been much closer. Now, with the help of Elon Musk donating tons of money to the campaign, he donated millions to Donald Trump. Now, let's just say it would be the opposite to Kamala Harris instead. I think Minnesota would have been likely for Kamala Harris. I think she would have won by 6.5. She would have won that by about 6.5 percentage points instead of the 4% that she originally won it by. So I think that margin would change from lean to likely in Minnesota if Harris had decided to back her instead of Donald Trump. And then another change I would say is Michigan. Trump won it by a lean margin, about 1.5 percentage points. That's a lean margin. I think if Elon Musk had donated tons of millions of dollars to the Harris campaign, it would have made that state a lot closer. So it would go from 1.5 to, let's just say, 0.5% for Donald Trump. It would be closer by about a percentage point. So it would go from lean to tilt. Trump would still win Michigan. Not enough help from Musk to flip that from red to blue. Pennsylvania, I would stay the same, and the reason why is because of the failed assassination attempt that happened in Butler County. I think that's just too much. That sealed the deal for Trump to not only win Pennsylvania, but also the election as well. Trump was set to win Pennsylvania all along. We knew it by a lean margin of 1.8%, almost 2 percentage points. Now, another change I would say is New Hampshire. Harris won that by about 3 percentage points. So with the help, with the donation from Elon Musk, with millions of dollars to her campaign, basically a hypothetical scenario, I think New Hampshire would have been likely instead of lean for Kamala Harris. I would say she'd improve by about a couple points more, so it would become likely instead of lean, with the help, with the backing, the support of Elon Musk. So basically the total opposite. Elon Musk says if it wasn't for him, Trump would have lost the election and Trump should thank him. That's what Elon Musk is basically saying, and I think he's wrong. It would have been closer if Musk decided to help Harris and Democrats instead of Donald Trump. Now, I do agree that Democrats would have actually won the House if Elon Musk decided to donate millions to their campaign, but I disagree that Trump would have lost the election, although I do think it would be much closer. As you can see right here, Minnesota would be likely Democrat instead of lean. Same thing with New Hampshire. Michigan would be tilt Republican instead of lean, so that is much, much closer. And now we move on to the flips. I do think Harris would have flipped 2 states if it wasn't for Elon Musk helping Donald Trump. That's Wisconsin and Georgia. Wisconsin was the closest that Harris came within the range of, I believe, 0.8%, 0.7%. That's the margin Trump had won it by. So considering that it was the closest of the 3 Rust Belt states that voted to the left of Michigan, Pennsylvania, which caught a lot of people, including myself, by surprise. I did not expect Wisconsin to vote to the left of Michigan, Pennsylvania. Usually, historically speaking, in past elections, that does not happen. So I think if Kamala Harris would be helped by Elon Musk, I think she would have won Wisconsin. I truly do believe so. With the donations, with the support, with the spending going to her instead of Donald Trump, I think she could have won that because that state overall was close either way. So I think she would have won its 10 electoral votes, making it much, much closer. So that puts her at 236 to Donald Trump's 302. And then Georgia, I think she would have won its 16 electoral votes because it was already close. She came within 2 points of winning the state. And Georgia is shifting towards the left demographically, especially in Atlanta, the metropolitan area, the suburbs as well. When you have Arizona go to Trump by 5 points, it swung by over 5 points because Biden won it in 2020. You had a state like North Carolina go to Donald Trump by 3 points. Take a look at other swing states. Dramatically shift towards the right. And then Georgia is that one state that even though Donald Trump won it, it did not shift as much as Arizona did. Arizona went 5 points to the right. Georgia only went 2 points to the right. Both states won by Joe Biden in 2020. So I do believe with the support, especially with the money Elon Musk would pour into Kamala Harris's campaign, I do believe she would have won Georgia. So that would put her by probably about a tilt margin, very close. That would put her at 252 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 286. So that's the only changes I would see happen. It would be closer, but I think Elon Musk's claim is incorrect. With his support for Kamala Harris and Democrats, I believe she still would have lost the election. But I do believe that I do agree that Democrats would have won the House. So this is the map if Elon Musk decided to donate to Kamala Harris's campaign instead of Donald Trump. The changes are Wisconsin, Georgia flipped blue, and then Minnesota, New Hampshire, and Michigan shifting a little bit towards the left. So that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me, or do you agree with Elon Musk's claim that Kamala Harris would have won if it wasn't for him helping Donald Trump? I partially disagree with that claim. So one last final reminders to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss all my content. Press like button, share this video. Don't forget to read memberships. You can find a link to that in the description section if you are interested. Thank you everyone for watching.